Alright, since the new Spider-Man movie came out, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I still haven't watched it. In this video, I'll be watching 10 things you didn't know about Spider-Man, just to get me like prepared or more to get more knowledge of Spider-Man in the comic side. Cause I only watch the MCU movies, but I'm not that tapped into the comics. So yeah, I'm trying to learn something new about Spider-Man that I didn't know. So let's go. All
What's
right.
up, my comic comrades? Today we're telling you 10 things you probably didn't know
Okay,
about
let's see.
Spider-Man. Spidey is one of the most popular superheroes in all of comics, but there's still a lot about
Huh?
him
They
that
put the
isn't mainstream information. So today we're going to peel back
there
the
we go.
web curtain a little bit and hopefully give you info about Spider-Man that's brand new to your ears. And if you're a Spidey expert and none of this is new info for you, congratulations, you win a no prize.
Alright, so I
That's a
might be an
first in
expert after
itself,
this
something
video.
only
Let's see.
die-hard Marvel fans will get, but with that said, let's get into it. Did you know that Spider-Man is hyphenated for a reason? That's right.
Wait, why?
Stan Lee didn't do it just because it looks cool. There was actually a practical element to it as well. You see, when Stan Lee wrote Spider-Man down on paper, he thought it looked too similar to Superman, and of course he didn't want anyone to confuse the web crawl.
Yeah, I always thought like why his name is not like why isn't his name like Spider-Man without the hyphen or whatever you want to call that. So
With the Man of Steel, so after giving it some thought, he put a dash between Spider and Man to make it distinctly different from Superman.
okay,
on paper.
I guess that makes
In
sense.
fact, the actual quote from Stan Lee is as follows: "It looked too much like Superman.
Yeah.
I didn't want people glancing at the name and thinking it said Superman." It's
Yeah,
funny how
I get to
something
see.
so
I mean,
simple has
I
now
see
become
why.
extremely iconic. Like the word Spider-Man doesn't even look
Spider-
like Spider-Man on paper if you don't add the hyphen. It just looks wrong. But staying in the lane of Spidey's creation, another thing you probably didn't know about Spider-Man is the fact that he was almost called Flyman. You see, after the massive success Stan Lee had,
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. If they made Spider-Man's name, Flyman, whatever, Flyer. Wait, what was it again?
In 1961, he needed to.
What was it again?
You see, after the massive success of Spider-Man is the fact that he was almost called Flyman.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. If they put his name Flyman, like I might have just like in the most respectable way, like I might just stop liking the character because, like, come on, Flyman, like, it doesn't hit. Spider-Man hits, like, I don't know, something about Spider-Man. It's like, it's simple, but it's just like, I don't know, it hits.
Success Stan Lee had with the Fantastic Four in 1961, he needed to find the next big thing. And that next big thing came in the form of a fly. As the story goes, Stan was in his office one day brainstorming when he saw a fly crawling up a wall in the Marvel offices. And after seeing this, Stan's like, I got it. We need a character that could stick to walls and climb up vertical surfaces with ease. At this point, he started brainstorming names for characters such as Mosquito Man, Insect Man, and Fly Man. Now, thank God none of those names.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like,
Stan Lee would eventually be like, nope, I got it, Spider-Man, because that sounds
thank
cool
God
and
it was
dramatic,
Spider-Man.
like Flyman or Insect Man. It's at this point Stan hired Steve Ditko to design Spider-Man's costume, with Ditko presenting him as an awkward teenage hero with the abilities of a spider. And from there, the rest is history. Stan was always the best at knowing what fans would want to see in comic books. Anyway, here's a crazy one. Did you know that Peter Parker wasn't the first Spider-Man? That's right. Peter Parker Spider-Man debuted in Amazing Fantasy 15 in 1962.
Wait, so if Peter Parker wasn't the first Spider-Man, who was?
However, about a decade earlier in the 1950s, there was another Man-Spider or Spider-Man running around Marvel. You see, in the 1950s, sci-fi comics and monster comics were extremely popular. And in Journey into Mystery 73, there was a story that had a household spider transformed by radioactive rays, making him a humanoid talking man-spider. Right after being hit by radioactive rays, the spider grew.
So I'm guessing he has the same powers as, I mean, of course, like, he goes, this thing could probably like swing around, has super strength and all that.
The ability to talk as his brain enlarged. The comic even says, as the creature grows, his brain enlarges. His mental capacities increase. He is able to think, to speak. As the spider says, I have become huge, powerful. The humans inside are my enemies. I must imprison them until I am ready to deal with them. As he webs up the whole facility he's at.
So this Spider-Man was a villain, from what I'm getting.
Story, and it's more of a monster story than a heroic man with spider-like abilities. But nonetheless, this is a Marvel comic book, meaning they technically had a character that could talk with spider abilities before Peter Parker Spider-Man. And to me, that's wild. And speaking of wild, have you ever felt the adrenaline that comes with finding a collectible you've been hunting for, then winning it for a killer deal at auction? It's like hitting a buzzer beater. Just
okay, let's just skip this.
And don't need to give you. So that sperm is radioactive. That's right. So the sixth thing you probably didn't know about Spider-Man is the fact that he has the most nicknames out of any superhero.
Wait, hold on, I'm trying to think. Who else has, okay. Hawk? Wait, does Hawk have any nickname? I don't think Hulk has. Wait, who? I'm trying to. Now that I'm like thinking about it, like who actually like what Marvel characters have like nicknames? Because I can't think of none like on the top of my head. Like Cap. Oh wait, I mean Cap and Tone. I mean Iron Man just he doesn't. I don't think Iron Man has a nickname. Wait, who else? Hawkeye? No, I don't think so. Wait,
It's
who
one of
else?
those
I
things
wonder
that
who.
when you think about it, it's kind of obvious, but a lot of
The
people
only one I
might
know
not
is
take
Cap.
the time to think about it. There are a lot of characters in comics that have a bunch of nicknames, like Batman being called the Dark Knight. The
Oh
Caped
yeah,
Crusader,
I'm not gonna lie.
the
The
World's
Dark
Greatest
Knight,
Villain.
like as a
Then you have
nickname, it
Superman,
sounds
who's called the
fire.
Man of Steel, Big Blue, the last son of Krypton, and so on. But Spider-Man beats them all. I mean, you've got Webhead.
Wait, okay, I'm trying to. All right, I'm gonna try to pre-fire some of his nickname. Like, okay, we already know Webhead is one of them. Spider. Or what else? Spider thing. Oh, your friendly neighborhood spider. Wait, I think I just said that completely wrong, but something like that. And then the amazing Spider-Man. I don't know what I'm saying. Like,
Spidey, Wallcrawler, Webslinger, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man,
yeah,
Bug Boy, Tiger, Arachnid Avenger, Insect Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, the
yeah.
Sensational
Oh, I
Spider-Man,
got two though. I got two.
the Spectacular Spider-Man, Midtown High's only professional Wallcrawler, and believe it or not, the list keeps going. It's pretty ridiculous just how many nicknames Spider-Man
Yeah, it is
actually
crazy.
has.
He has like
In any case, let's move on to number 7. The seventh thing you may not have known about Spider-Man is the fact that his webs dissolve in 2 hours, as stated by
yeah.
Marvel
Actually,
themselves.
fun fact. I kind of read about this. I'm pretty sure 2 days ago that I did not know that when I was searching out what's it called. You know how Toby's webs are like organic, I guess you could say, and then Tom's and Andrew's are like artificial. So I was just like, doing my research, like how's that possible? And when I was doing the research, I learned that the artificial web that actually dissolves, while Toby's doesn't. But that's all I know, to be honest with
when
you.
breaking down Spider-Man's web shooters. As Marvel has officially stated, after about 2 hours,
So I
certain
kinda knew this already.
clusters cause the solid form of the web fluid to dissolve into powder. This is one of those things not a lot of people
But I
may
recently
have thought about.
found it
Now,
out
if
like
you know
2
it
days
takes 2
ago.
hours for Spider-Man's webbing to dissolve, it also explains why there isn't webbing constantly hanging everywhere in New York.
Yeah,
He
that makes
specifically
sense.
designed it to dissolve after 120 minutes. Again, most people knew that Spider-Man's webbing dissolves, but didn't necessarily know how long it took for the webbing to dissolve. But now you know. Moving on to the 8th thing you might not have known is that the radioactive spider that bit Peter and gave him his powers didn't only bite Peter. No, it actually bit someone else, and that someone is Cindy Moon, aka
Cindy
Silk. You see,
Moon.
as revealed in the Amazing Spider-Man issue 1 from
Interesting.
2014, via a flashback in the issue, we see Peter at a science exhibit where they're demonstrating the use of radioactive rays in a lab. And as we all know, a stray spider accidentally absorbed a crap ton of radioactivity, at which point the dying spider, in shock, bites the nearest living thing, which of course was Peter Parker. But after biting Peter, the spider didn't die, at least not right away.
Also, so in this universe, it bit Peter, and then just found another host after it bit Peter.
It lived long enough to crawl away and bite someone else on the foot, and that someone else was Cindy Moon, who was at the same exact science exhibit as Peter Parker. Then after biting Cindy, it died. Now this was a massive revelation Dan Slott gave us back in 2014, because from 1962 all the way to 2014, we were led to believe Peter was the only one bitten by that specific radioactive spider.
But in the MCU, they don't really like, I guess you could say they don't really show this. So I did hearing about this, I did find it kind of interesting because I always thought that Peter was the only one like that got bit.
For Dan Slott to be like, yeah, no, there was someone else there, Cindy Moon, who later became
Cindy
Silk.
Moon.
If you want to know more about Cindy Moon,
She looks pretty
the
cool
story is
though.
actually really cool, and we did an entire episode breaking down her origin right here, so go check that out. Another thing you may not have known about Spidey is the fact that he almost bankrupted Marvel. That's right, Spider-Man, the most popular Marvel character and one of the 3 most popular superheroes in the world, almost bankrupted Marvel in the 90s. You see, during the 90s, DC Comics was putting out banger storylines like the death of Superman and the Batman Nightfall storyline, where Bane breaks Batman's back and Bruce is forced to pass the Batman mantle to Jean-Paul Valley. So obviously Marvel's like, well, we need our huge event. Enter the Clone Saga. Now, the Clone Saga, which spans from 1994 to 1996, is infamously known as one of the worst things Marvel has ever done. While it did introduce us to one of my favorite versions of Spider-Man and fan favorite
Scarlet?
version of Spider-Man, Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider,
Yeah, I
with the
know
awesome
him.
blue hoodie, that's pretty much the only good it did. You see, the Clone Saga just confused the hell out of readers and messed with continuity for no reason. The event caused Peter to believe that he was not the real Peter Parker, so he gave up the mantle of Spider-Man.
Wait, I
at which
wonder
point-
if this comic was with the whole, that Spider-Man meme where it's like three of them, and then they're all pointing at each other. I wonder if it was this comic that it came from. That'd be funny.
Clones entered the mix. We also got a pregnant Mary Jane and a bunch of other stuff that just made it confusing and overall not that great. Now, I will say in the mid-90s, there were also other factors that led to Marvel almost going bankrupt, one of which being their decision to self-distribute their own content. But the Clone Saga is definitely one of the biggest things people cite as Marvel almost going under because it was not a success. And it seemingly went on forever with a ton of ads and marketing, all pushing its convoluted plot that was
So
just
it didn't live
pissing
up
off
to their
Marvel and
expectation,
Spider-Man
huh?
fans. Things were
I
getting
see.
so bad during this time that a third of Marvel employees were actually laid off as the Clone Saga was going on, leaving Marvel to try to figure out how the hell they're going to stop themselves from going under, which obviously they did. And that came in the form of Marvel movies. Enter Wesley Snipes' Blade, which saved Marvel from bankruptcy. From there, we got the X-Men movies, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and ultimately the
that X-Men movie, bro. Oh my god, it's one of my favorite like Marvel movies. I'm not gonna lie, it's
with the rest of the
fire.
history. Now, the last thing we're going to leave you with that you may not know about
I've never seen a
Spider-Man
Blade one,
is
though.
the fact that he saved teenagers from becoming pregnant, like a whole
Huh?
bunch of them. Yeah,
Wait,
I'm not
huh?
joking, is the fact that he saved
Wait.
teenagers. Now, the last thing we're going to leave you with that you may not know about Spider-Man is the fact that he saved teenagers from becoming pregnant, like a whole bunch
Interesting,
of them.
huh?
Yeah, I'm not joking. That's literally a thing that happened. So, the 70s was a wild time for comics and just America in general, and Spider-Man was no exception. You see, in the Amazing
Bro,
Spider-Man
wait, they was going crazy in the 70s?
versus Prodigy, Spider-Man encounters a man going around schools misinforming teens about pregnancy. He's all like, dude, getting pregnant is an awesome way to get rid of your acne. Also, the first time you do the no pants dance, you can't even get pregnant. Basically saying all
Bro, I'm stupid. I'm thinking it like, alright, I don't know why, but I thought he was talking about it happened like in real life. Alright, I might be the dumbest person in this planet.
all this outlandish stuff, and we find out the reason for this is because the man is actually an alien in disguise who just wants the teens' babies. So he's going around schools and on TV preaching that teens should get pregnant. And when Spider-Man hears this, he's like, good grief, I see it all now. This guy's plan is to keep kids from getting facts. They probably don't even know that getting pregnant at their age is risky for mothers and
Bro,
babies.
like, I'm not like, one thing about comics, they always have like the weirdest like villains, like, or just villains or heroes. I'm pretty sure I saw this there was this hero in X-Men in the comics that he could like stretch his skin or something, like, and then he would, I don't know, something like that. It's just weird. Like,
he wants them to be baby machines, changing diapers, going nowhere in dead-end jobs, sitting home every night trying to find the time and money to go to a movie or buzz out to the burger stand. Yeah, guys, the 70s were wild. This was absolutely ridiculous. You couldn't find a better way to make a PSA about teen pregnancy? Evidently not. Marvel had to make a Spider-Man comic with an alien disguise.
This might have took he might have took the title of like one of the weirdest like villains in like probably history. Like, what? A villain that goes around just saying that telling teenagers to get pregnant because it cures acne, like, come on, bro, let's be honest.
As
Like,
a human was going around telling teenagers that having babies was awesome so he could steal them. But luckily, we got the webhead because he saved those teens. Oh yes, he did. He exposed the slimy alien that wanted to steal babies. Utterly ridiculous. But again, the 70s, a groovy time all about psychedelics and substance abuse. But there you have it, my comic comrades. 10 things you probably didn't know about Spider-Man. I hope we brought you some new information. And if we didn't, we hope it was at least fun rehearing these crazy things about Spider-Man. Either way, let us know.
I'm not gonna lie, I learned a lot of things. Like, the last one was kind of disturbing and kind of weird in a way. But hey, but the Spider-Man, the hyphen thing, I didn't know about that. Like, oh, they put it in because they didn't want it to be similar to Superman, which, I get that, because if you didn't have that in the middle, it'll kind of like, I could see like what they meant basically. And I didn't know that Spider-Man, what's it called? They were supposed to be the Spider Bit 2 people instead of just Peter. That's also interesting. But yeah, if you like this video, like, subscribe, and if you want to see more reactions, okay, I'm actually, down to do more reactions, because right now, I don't know, basically my whole channel was Roblox, but I don't have like an interesting like game I can play. So I mean, if I want to see reactions, then hey, I'm down. All right, well, bye.